I'm here. Good morning. All right. Sound check. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you see Bella? She says hello. Um, Good morning, Jesse. Good morning, Cindy. Good morning, Diane. Good morning, Diane. Good morning, Cindy. Good morning, Jesse. Who did I miss? Good morning, Diane. Ah. All right, people. Okay, so gonna be a bit rough this morning. This is this is a new streaming service for me. As you can see up here in the here it is, upper corner there. Um, it's still it's machine. Good morning, and good morning, Doug. Um, it's still showing its own logo. I haven't invested in this system yet. I haven't because I did all that testing in the other one. Picture and sound is good. Thank you, Diane. Um, the last time I invested, it was terrible. It was terrible. So thought I would do this first. And then if it works out, I'll buy the subscription and then change all the colorings, to be my own. Is Barb here? There she is. Good morning. Last week it wouldn't let you in. You know, I there were so many things that I did not care for with that last service. I'm sure it's a wonderful service. I just couldn't get it to work the way I needed it to, even in the subscription. So let's hope this one goes a little bit better. All right. So what do we got here? And I'm looking around because the layout of this particular studio screen is different. So I want to make sure that I see everything. All right. All right. So what are we talking about today? We are going to Oh, that's something to consider. Doug, when you say it doesn't have the comments on the replay, are you referring specifically to the YouTube broadcast, the YouTube recording? I'll check into that later. Okay. So what are we going to talk about today? Cindy, I put out there that I was looking for a topic. Actually, topics, because it's going to be more than just today. Um, do I have anybody here? Sorry, I just saw a pop-up message. Do I have anybody here in the on Facebook watching? All right, we'll have to check that too. Okay, so Cindy gave me a topic. She has, and remember, this is a new streaming service. I still don't know how to use everything, so I put the pictures up in um in my Google, not my Google, in my software. Come on, what is going on? Do. All right, we'll showcase it. So Cindy had a bunch of jackets that she needed to do, and some of the names were long and some of the names were short. And what you can't see, and I'm going to try to make this larger. Oops, too much. Um, let's look at Abby here. Abby's name, she's only 3 letters, and her letters are bigger than Braden's. Braden's got, what is that, 6 letters. So in order to fit in that space, his letters had to be shorter. Here's another picture. Christian and Taylor, same kind of thing. Christian's name is shorter because it needs to accommodate more lettering in the spaces. That's not what I want. Hold on. I'm sorry, people. There. That is what I'm looking for. I want to be able to see you guys. Okay. Maybe not see you guys, but I want to be present. So Christian's name has more letters. So overall, it's shorter than Taylor. But we don't necessarily want that. We don't want Christian to have a complex because his name is smaller than Taylor's. He's just as important as Abby and everybody else. So what do we do? Well, first we have to establish what our stitch out format is going to be. Generally speaking, a left chest or a pocket, whether it be on the shirt pocket, like work shirts, or on a jacket, is going to be uniform across the board. The and 4 inches is about right. If yours is 4.5 inches, well then accommodate the space at 4.5 inches. Hold on one moment. If you're using if you're using a patch, a name patch, put the size there. That way you can see what your stitch area is. But set up a template. I guess that's where I'm going. Set up a template. Whether it be, just a 4-inch space, which I have indicated here with just this outline, or the satin borders for an oval or rectangle, whatever your piece is going to be. And then you need to decide on the font set. Now, I've always been, you don't want to give clients too many options because they'll take forever to decide. So, set up a set of, a sampler set for them and have them pick an option that they like. A script, a block, and a serif. Something that they like. So you know what font you're working with. And you also know what your stitch area is going to be, your sizing area. Now, I pulled in all the names on Cindy's list. I want to suggest to you that you have your client, your customer, submit the list, and I don't know if it'll let me do this. Let's see if it'll let us open this up. Because again, we're working with a new service and it's not going to show it. Maybe. Nope. Submit the list in a document file. That way, they're responsible for the spelling of everything. In my world, Abby may not be spelled A-B-Y, or excuse me, A-B-I. It could be a B-B-I. But if they only tell me we need Abby, then I may get it spelled wrong. So have them submit the list in a document file. That way you can copy. That's okay, Cindy, whatever you use. um, you can copy and paste your list. Let's see here. We're going to do just that. I'm always stumbling around anyways, but having this new service doesn't help any, does it? Okay, we're going to open up a new window here. So I copied the name list and I am pasting it, and then I'm going to create my text. All right. So now that you have that name list in your system, in your software, you can set all the parameters. You can set all the underlay. We don't want to use an edge run underlay. It's going to be too narrow. Just a simple center. We want to maybe change the density. We can do all of that to all of them at the same time. Pole compensation. We can do all of our changes. Oh, and most importantly, we want to change the font to our chosen font. Let's see. You said script 6. Let's go ahead and bring it up. Racer script 6. Oh, nice script. I like that. Okay. So right now, as it stands, these are all the same size, regardless of how long the name is or how short the name is. These are all 10 millimeter tall, 10 millimeter name set. All right. Let's see if we can do all that here. Script 6. There we go. So once we have all of our names, yes, you do, Cindy. You have to calculate for those. But you also have to remember that it still has to fit in your stitch area. Okay. So we have all of our names. Here, I wrote a note so I wouldn't forget to tell you. Once you have your name set created for the client, save it so that you can size the next or new names, because everybody has uh, uh, employee turnover. So at some point, uh, Jack's going to leave and John needs a name badge. But save it. That way, it is saved in the same size, the same parameters, the same. Hey, Scott. Good morning. Everything is the same as what you've done previously, so that when John comes in, you can open up that file and edit the name that's in that file, save it, and now you have John. Okay, so we have our name list, we have our font, we have our underlay selected, we know what size our name needs to fill. Now what do we do? Let me see what I did over here. Yep, here we are. Yep, we're going to change that too. I like that. Script 6. That's nice. Script 6. Okay, so right now they're all the same size. We're going to break them up. At this point, oh, I must have done that before. um, when you bring them in, they're all together. They are considered one element in the system, in the software. So we need to break that up. So we do break apart. Did we do that here? Nope, we did not. There we are. So right now we have one element, but we want each of these names to be individual. So we're going to break it apart. And now we have individual names. Once we have the individual names, we're going to select all of them. Let me change that color. You have a lowercase z. Oh, you do? Okay. So Cindy's saying here that you need to manually hook the Z and kern all of the letters. Yes, you want to do all of that edit work before you do your sizing. Martinez needs to be edited. All the kerning needs to happen. Like Corey here. So we bring that over. But once you have all of your editing done, and I'm going to change the color of our box. Oh, but it's locked. Unlock. Once you have all of your editing done, you are going to select all of your names in this list. And then you're going to stack them one on top of the other. In Willcom, there's an align center feature that makes it really easy. Okay. You're going to put it in your box, your stack, and then you're going to size that box. I pulled Martinez up because it has that drop down. I want to make a 10 millimeter box because, oh, but that won't work because these are not necessarily 10 millimeter anymore. All right, let's go back. Back, 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 back. Okay, let's make that 10 millimeter box. The box needs to be 10 millimeters. And then we're going to drag it over. That looks good. Yeah, looks like all the drop downs accommodated. All right. All right, that's good. All right, so let's skip ahead. We're going to stack them. We're going to pull them into our box because remember that's our sizing for our stitch out. And then we're going to size to fit. Center. Now every name in this list is now the size it needs to be. They are all in this case 13.21 millimeters tall. Bella doesn't make it easy for me to work one-handed. So now all I need to do. Good morning, Debbie. It's good to see you. All I need to do is cut and paste each of these in its own file. And then, of course, I will save the name file. And I only need to save one because it's the size I need it for John when he comes down, whether I save the Abbey or the Christian. It is the size it needs to be. All the parameters are set. all the density is set, the underlay is set, the compensation is set. All of my settings are in place for this name file set. Easy peasy. So now I just cut this name off of my list, go to a new board, paste it in place. Might want to do a little centering here and save it. Save as, and I need to save the EMB file. Save as company name or company name list or client name list. And every time they have a change, a turnover in staff, I can pull up their file and say, okay, I have their name. Where do you want it? And if you're using a name badge, a name patch, same thing. In that case, we can copy and paste. Let's just center, copy and paste it in place. Any questions? I suppose I ought to. So that's it. That's all there is to doing names. And you can set up a template for each one of your letter sets. You can set up you can call it, save everything in name templates. Show that again, how you save the list and then pulled one to send to the machine. All right, so we're going to take Daniel and we're going to go through the whole save process so you've got it. So I'm going to cut Daniel from my working list because I don't need the working list, but I do need a Daniel file. Open a new board, a new workspace, and paste. Do a little centering here. And then I go to save. And then we call it, we'll just call it name list Daniel. And I probably spelled that wrong. I did. So now we have Daniel. And then, of course, we export it. We export it to a machine file. Does that help, Cindy? Let's see. Now, Cindy. Oh, good question, Scott. That's where we're going next. Cindy, I charge $5 a name. I have clients that send me a request for a name. That's all they want, just a name. Well, I can't justify charging them a full digitizing fee for just a name. So I charge $5, and that's just to create the file. Yes. No. Yes and no. Cindy, she wants to know if I'm saving each individual name or just replacing Daniel on the page. No, I am saving each individual name because then all that work is done and I can just take all the files on my flash drive or however I transfer them to my machine. I can take them to my machine and that way I can put one after the other. But Scott has a great question. What about team names? What about team names? And I use Cindy saying that she charges $5 to put a name on an item, and I charge $5 to create that. So you are in a position where you can create your own names. I've got clients who don't. Oh, Mashid, I know. I've been there. I have Here, let me show you. She's title of the company had too many letters and the customer had wanted it all on one line. Let me show you piece. Gonna take a minute. Where is she? BR. There she is. Tri-state. This is a set that I created using team names. I'm just going to copy one of these. It's a copy. Go to a new page and paste and then break it apart. And we all know that there, to be legible, the text file should really be about a 5mm lettering to be legible. You generally have about a 4-inch space left to right for your lettering. This is what they sent me, and they wanted it all stacked one after the other. The longest line is 7.5 inches. Now, if I change this and even, go a full 4 inches, that makes our lettering less than 3.5 millimeters. It's not going to stitch well. It's not going to show well. It's not going to be legible. So we had to find something else to do. And what we did is we put everything in a circle with their logo. But we did this using team names. So here's the thing, Cindy. Here's what I want to say. If you have, and you're charging $5, which does not include the work you're going to put into to create these names, use team names. You can copy and paste that list into team names. It will, and I'm going to see if I can't open one up for you. No, I bet I can. I have to go back into the files. It will give you a list of your names. Again, you can do all of the editing, all of the sorting. You can even put in your team names. You can even put, if what color the shirt they're using, whether it's a size small, medium, or large. And you can sort that so that when you take your file over to the machine, it will sort the way you have instructed, and you can stack your garments, your shirts, your jackets, whatever it is you're stitching, in that same order so that you can just go one right after the other and it will stop. And that's great. But Cindy, what if you have 100 names? Yeah, maybe it's not so much for 10, 15, 20 names, but what if you have 100 names? And George has 2 shirts, one's green, one's purple. And because he fluctuates in his weight, one's a large and one's an extra large. How do you know this? And just exactly what Barb says. Team name advance. And you can still do a lot of this with just team names, with just the default settings. Um, you can take a design file and you can personalize it with the names from the list. One file contains the logos, everything else contains the names, and it puts them together. That's exactly what this did. We put the logo in the center and then took the 4 lines and sized them so they would all fit around. The center is always there, and then the names change. When I put this on a machine for the first one, it'll stitch my logo and then it will stitch the text. And then I put the shirt in for the second one, it'll stitch the logo and it will stitch the text. Cindy, I think I did a video on team names. I'll see if I can find it. If not, I'll put it on my list of to do. How's that sound? All right. So that's what I've got today. Next week. Oh, next week is Thanksgiving. Oh, you can't see me because, next week is Thanksgiving. I want to wish everybody a wonderful, great Thanksgiving. Remember to bring in all of your family. You're right, Barb. It is a time-saving feature. Um, this one, for example, how many are there? There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 different files. And I'll look for it too, Cindy. I'll look for it and send you a link. Thank you, Jesse. Jesse, you are so always so supportive. I so appreciate that. Thank you. So that's team names. Um, do you guys want to do a broadcast next Saturday? Or will you be out shopping because, Black Friday, Small Business Saturday? Um, we can skip it, but the next broadcast I do, um, I want to talk to you about how to detect AI generated or mock-up generated. I want to help you see fake embroidery. I know, that's fake embroidery. All right. Okay, so we just might do it. So that's what we have today. Oh, again. All right, Diane, Jesse, we'll go ahead and do next Saturday. It'll always be there for the rewind. And I'm stalling here because I have to bring up the video because again I'm using the free version of this streaming service and it's limited me in what I can do. So here we are. You are very welcome. I'm glad I could help, Cindy. If you have any questions, if any of you have any questions, send me a message. I'll help. Here we go. Let's hope. We're going to try to bring it up. Wasn't that fun? Do you have more questions? Do you want to learn something new? Join me at quicktostitch.com for coffee and conversation, and we'll talk about it. Embroidery machines, designs, and business. Hope to see you soon. Bye now.